I decided to do a video on how I insulated my car. It is needed for the summer, the whole season, and especially the winter because it gets hecka cold and the windows just suck the heat out. Thermal dynamics, yo. So this is the actual one I went with, and there's two reasons. There are better products out there, better R value. R value is sort of like, it's a barrier between the heat and the cold, like sucking the cold out, sucking the heat out or the cold out if it's in the summertime. And the better the R value, the higher the number, the better insulated you are. This one I feel is very, I think it's around a 2, not the best. But the reason I went with this is, first and foremost, I was on a budget. This is $8.99 or something like that. So it's like $9 for a 4x8. So 4 foot by 8 foot. And then I cut these along these marks to get into my car. See these little crosses? And you can just cut with a utility blade, which is pretty much everybody has those. And I just got this one for the second reason is because I wanted it to be pressure fitted. That means I don't use Velcro, I don't use tape, I don't use anything. It just, I can push it into the window opening and it will stay there without having any other kind of attachment, because I wanted to be able to take the insulation out and not have to worry about taking off Velcro or anything along those lines. There is another product that has a better R value. It's not as rigid as this. It's this guy here, which I know a lot of tiny house and car boondockers use a lot. It's Reflectix insulation. I don't know how to pronounce it. But this is roughly around $24 or $25, I think. Let me see. It's $21. That was one of the main reasons I didn't want to go with this. This has different sizes. That one's the 24 by 25 foot. Then it has 48 inches, 48 inches by 25 feet. This is 24 inches by 25 feet. And they have, I think, 16 by 25, 16 inches by 25. Yeah, which is a little less. With these, I'd have to use like a Velcro or a tape or something along those lines. And I did not want to do that. So I'm actually really happy with my choice. It's a 1/2 inch panel right here, and $8.38, and it did my whole car, and I had tons left over, and I couldn't have been happier with it. It really is a fantastic product, especially for such a small need. Who knows, if I go to colder climes, maybe I'll double them up, put that with this, and eventually, and then I'll show you what I did to black out the foil, because you can see, let me show you. On this side it's white, and you can totally see the lettering and everything, and on this side it's foil. You can still see that through your car windows even if they're tinted. So you have to block that out so that you can safely boondock without people knowing, hey, that person has insulation in their windows. So let me show you what I use for that. The other thing you can do is get black duct tape and just tape over all the little bits that's going to show to the outside. You don't want silver. It's just going to exacerbate. But another thing you can do is cardstock or felt. Felt would be really good, or cardstock would be really good because it has a matte finish. The one thing I've noticed with the duct tape is that you can see a little bit, slight bit of reflecting on the plastic surface. So I'm gonna get me some wood to play with. One of the best reasons to come to Home Depot is because they'll give you cardboard, which is, all I did was ask one of the guys if they had extra cardboard lying around and gave me this huge sheet. And what I ended up doing is cutting out templates for this one here, because it can't roll down, and these guys here, this one here, and I cut a template out of it so that way it goes here. And like I said in my other video, is if you don't get it right, just know that you can fudge it once you trace it out and then you cut it out. And if it's not perfect, when you cut it out of the actual material, you can equate for how much over under you need. When you do it on windows that can roll down, a million times easier. So what you do is, when it's a window that can roll down, you just roll the sucker and then you put your insulation behind the door, and then you just use a pencil and trace it out, and then you just use a utility knife to cut it out. And again, a 4x8 panel like that will give you plenty of trial and error. And honestly, because cars are pretty much matching, unless you have like that weird cube car that has a weird window, it's, what's good for one is a mirror of the other. So that's how I cut out this guy here, which goes into this window here. Super simple, super easy. And then it's good for the other side as well. It's a lot easier than you think. And then once I had them cut out, I wanted the edges, so I made sure when I covered it, the side that's going to be pointing outwards in duct tape, I definitely did the edges too, because it's a foam. I don't know if you can see this. It's got those little bead bits, and those can eventually, you know, wear down and, you know, pop off, as you can see it's doing right now. So I wanted that to not wear down, so I made sure the edges were all covered. And then it really is a pressure fit. For example, this guy goes up here, and you just press it in, and it works like a charm. And then when you close the door, you can't see in at all. Super easy. And then I also put a tab on each of them so that I can just pull it off. Yeah. And that really is how easy it is to insulate the car. And then for the front windshield, I honestly suggest getting a sun visor, because it's normal to have a sun visor in the front, and you want to look as normal as possible. So of course mine is Star Wars related, and you can see this has the same reflective as that other one, Insulated. Insulix or something like that. I forget what it's called. But yeah, I hope this was helpful in you guys insulating your own car for camping, boondocking, what have you. If you have any questions, put them down below, and off I go on the next adventure, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more content. If you really like this new avenue for videos, give this video a thumbs up. Yeah. Thank you so much. And if you want to support me, you can definitely go onto my Patreon. I'm hopefully going to raise money to eventually build a tiny house. You can support me on there. Hopefully some great content, more personal stuff might go up there. And if you're a member of my Patreon, you'll get to see all that cool stuff. It's stuff that I wouldn't really want on my main channel, like here. Yeah. I'll see you guys later. Bye.